We're going to talk about 1.3 today, Chapter 1, which is the balance sheet. You can see our balance sheet template right in front of us here. Simply all balance sheet is a summary of our accounting equation. Assets equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. From our previous 5 videos, we learned about the 5 transactions we started with in Chapter 1. We're going to use that example, those values we calculated, to create our balance sheet. So balance sheet first is made up of a heading which is made up of 3 rows. The first row is simply going to be the company name that's involved. The second row is going to be the document that we're creating. And the third row is always going to be the date. Now on a balance sheet, it's always done on the exact date. It's not done necessarily at the end of the month, but on a certain day. Now our transaction 5 from the last video was on August 11th. So we're going to use August 11th and the current year, which is 2017 right now. So you notice here we have a left-hand side, we have a right-hand side. Well, assets left, liabilities, owner's equity right. First thing we'll do is we'll put in assets, we'll have our heading. After that we can put in cash, supplies, and right now prepaid insurance. We'll have more later on as we go through the course. When we have our assets heading, we're going to make sure that it is centered. Everything else is going to be in the left margin. Assets is going to be centered. We can put in our value for cash, 5,863, 4,297, and 1,200. What we can then do is actually highlight all of that. Use our formulas, auto sum, we're going to come up with a value. So our assets right now have a value of 11,360. For our equation to balance, so does our liabilities need to have that value. So let's see. So we're going to have our liabilities. In this case, we still only have one, which is going to be our accounts payable, music supplies. We then have our owner's equity. In this case, our owner is Barbara Trevino, and it's her capital. Remember, our headings need to be centered, so we're going to center our liabilities, we're going to center our owner's equity, and we'll put in our values. So we have 1360, and our capital is 10,000. If we sum all of that up, what do you know? Assets equal to liabilities and owner's equity. So when we have this, we have a few more steps to go. What we need to do is we need to write total assets, and we need to rule this properly. To rule it properly, what we need to have is a single line above and a double line below. We then have our total liability and owner's equity. And again, to show that it balances, we need to rule properly. We need to have a single line above, a double line below. Our ruling. Our balance sheet is now complete. In your textbook, what you're going to see is this picture. Again, walks you through that exact same example that I just did. Again, you're going to have your heading. You're going to put in your assets. You're then going to put in your liabilities and your owner's equity. You can total them using the sum function. When you see the assets equals liabilities and owner's equity, then you know you're good to go. You can write in your total assets, your total liabilities, and owner's equity, and you can rule it. Balance sheet. Pretty simple. I think you can do it.